Max Verstappen had a lot to say about how slow the Red Bull car has become. The three-time champion is getting really mad because his team thought they would easily win both championships this year. But now Lando Norris is only 62 points behind Max in the Drivers' Championship, and McLaren is just 8 points behind Red Bull in the Team Championship. So Red Bull might lose their lead in both championships. Max sent a message that should really worry everyone at Red Bull's headquarters in Milton Keynes. One of the biggest puzzles in Formula One right now is why Red Bull went from being so good to being so bad. They had a really fast car in the first 5 races, but now they can barely get on the podium. Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez are in a really tough spot that no other driver would want to be in. The biggest threat to Max's championship is probably just Lando Norris. But for the team championship, Red Bull could drop to 3rd place in just the next 2 races in Baku and Singapore. Max himself said that something needs to change really soon, because he won't put up with this bad performance anymore. After the race in Italy, Max was clearly really angry. You could tell just by watching the race. He said, "It was just another terrible race. Nothing was working. The car wasn't working at all. I hated our strategy, and the pit stop was absolutely awful. We had to drive with less power, so basically everything went wrong. Where we drove didn't matter anyway, but you still try to drive your best race. Without making 2 pit stops, that definitely wasn't happening. On both the hard and medium tires, we were too slow. The way things are going, we're not going to win any more races. But that's just how it is right now." Max hasn't won a race in 6 straight races. His last win was in Barcelona. He also said that in May and June, he won a couple of races that he probably wouldn't have won. He was talking about wins in Spain, Italy, and Canada. Whether those wins will make the difference in the championship, along with McLaren's bad strategies in Hungary where they basically gave away 7 points from their lead, we'll have to wait and see. But right now, it's clear that Red Bull is nowhere close to winning races. This has been what everyone's talking about for the past few months. Many people believe Red Bull has what it takes to turn things around. In Italy, because of how the track is built, it's flat with not many curbs. The Red Bull car should have been good. But the car kept sliding and not turning properly, just like it did before. Max complained that the car just doesn't want to turn or respond when he tries to steer it. It acted the same way it did at his home race in the Netherlands, which means all the information they got from that race was useless. This might be one of the main reasons why Max isn't happy with the car and his team. According to Max, these problems have been there since the Miami race, but nobody wanted to fix them properly. His dad Jos has also talked about this, saying that while Max was winning races, nobody really cared about whether the car felt right to Max. They thought Max would just keep winning like he always did. But Max sent a strong warning to his team. He said, "It's up to the team to make a lot of changes to the car because we basically went from a car that was way better than everyone else's to a car that can't be driven properly in just 6 to 8 months. That's really strange to me. So we need to completely change the car. But it doesn't matter because right now we're bad everywhere and need lots of changes. We have to fix our own problems. Today and this whole weekend has been really bad. But I'm not worried about the championship. We were weak in a lot of areas." Interestingly, this isn't the only message Max sent to his team about how some people aren't doing their jobs well. The slow pit stop that took more than 6 seconds while the car was just sitting there made Max hit his steering wheel twice because he was so angry. This probably caused him to say to his race engineer, "Can the people in the background please wake up? I know this is a tough situation, but it's important." While Max moved up in the race because George Russell made a mistake at turn 1 and damaged his front wing, team boss Christian Horner's recent change in attitude clearly shows Red Bull's problems. Horner has gone from not panicking to admitting that the team has no idea why the car is performing so badly. When talking about the situation, the 50-year-old said, "We used an older version of the car in the Netherlands to see if that would fix any of the problems. The reality was, we still had the same handling problems and issues. So that's given us a lot of information for the guys, but there's a lot to figure out. We need to fix it quickly because McLaren has gotten much better over the last few races. We are now behind Ferrari and Mercedes in Italy as well. To make things even more unpredictable, it looks like Perez isn't happy with the car at all either. When you see both Max and Sergio very close to each other in both qualifying and the race, it clearly shows that Red Bull might have become a middle-of-the-pack team after being so competitive in the first half of the season. Nobody expected the championship fight to be this close in the final 8 races, especially with 3 sprint races left. But it seems like Max predicted this a few months ago. It's just that nobody wanted to listen to him back then. Explaining this situation even more, Jos Verstappen, Max's dad and the current championship leader's father, said, "We didn't expect the gap to be that big. It was a huge disappointment in the Netherlands. Max is usually a fighter, but after the race he was pretty much done with it, especially because Red Bull just didn't get it right. At the beginning of the season, when you win races, then of course everything feels right. But Max also said then that the balance wasn't right. Of course that wasn't talked about at the time. The team tried to keep it quiet. Max complained about the car's balance about 3 months ago, but they didn't really believe it, or they didn't really see it. Now you're actually a bit too late. Many people believed things would get better in Italy because of how the track is built. But Max definitely wasn't one of those people. The 3-time champion believed that the car couldn't be magically fixed and made faster overnight. When talking about what he expected for the Italian race, Max didn't hold back about the Red Bull car. He said, "If you already have balance problems during one lap in qualifying, they're not suddenly going to be fixed in the race. It can get bad really fast if it continues like this. But that's what I've always said. The engineers at Red Bull definitely listen to me. But it's really hard to find a solution. I think they're listening, but they don't really know what to do yet. That's the problem." Red Bull only scored 12 points in Italy, compared to McLaren's 34 points. This means the gap is now down to just 8 points between these two teams in the team championship. As things stand right now, it looks like Ferrari is ready to join the fight too. With the 37 points they got from Leclerc and Sainz's good results, Ferrari is now just 39 points behind Red Bull, and they're heading to 2 races that will suit Ferrari's car much more than Red Bull's car, Baku and Singapore. Strangely enough, this actually helps Max a lot because it means Norris will have a much harder time winning races. He'll have to deal with competition from his teammate Piastri as well as the challenge from Ferrari. Now, Toto Wolff doesn't look crazy when he predicted that his Mercedes team is still in the fight for the championship, even though their performance got worse after Barcelona. With all this in mind, do you think Max's words are truly something that should make Red Bull worry for the rest of 2024 and also for 25? When everything starts over from zero and the team's competitiveness stays the same? Let us know in the comments below.